don't even get me started with that shit. Those people who dress up for games, like those stupid fucking Raider fans. What are they doing? Do they understand how it went from one of the scariest places you could ever play to now looking... It looks like a musical. Looks like a Broadway musical. Like, I look at that, and I don't think intimidating. I think Phantom of the Opera. I really wish I knew some of that music. I'm sure a lot of the people in the black hole, and they stand up for the whole game. Do they? Hey, look, it's Darth Vader. Gee, I don't know if I can catch this football now. Raider Nation. You guys have the best fucking uniforms in all of football. You have the best logo. You have the baddest fucking tradition. And I don't know what you guys did to it. You need to get those sci-fi Road Warrior wannabes out of your stadium, and you got to go back to looking like the fucking Hell's Angels like you used to be. Look, I'm not gonna lie to you. I was actually gonna go to the Patriots game up there with a buddy of mine. And he's like, dude, we're not wearing any Patriots shit. I go, fuck no. This is the West Coast. This shit isn't fun out here. People get stabbed. They get shot. You lose an eye. They're out of their fucking minds. All right, but I can tell you right now, Boba Fett is not doing that shit. Okay? Or the guy with his fucking shoulder pads and his fake spikes coming out of it. Oh, with your bandanas and your face makeup. You know what I love about those guys is I just want to see them, when they're their alter ego, like when they're in Burt Ward mode and they're just waddling down the street going to work, Oh, Jesus Christ. Yeah, I think you guys need to go back to looking like fucking Ken Stabler and Jack Tatum. You really should go back to that. And you know something? I'm not being fair to Oakland Raider fans right now because I've been to a game up there, and most of them look that way. And I actually talked to a couple of them, and they fucking can't stand those guys who dress up like they're in the Rocky Horror Picture Show. And typical TV, who do they put on? Do they put on the real Raider fan who's just sitting there maybe with the Raider T-shirt or just dressing with the black T-shirt and looks like he'd slice your throat, like a normal upstanding Raider fan looks like? No, who do they put on? They put on the guy dressed like the chef on the Muppet Show with a fake scar painted on his... Dude, at one point, they had some guy, I was watching the game, and this douchebag is just sitting there with his face painted, and he's like, Raiders, Raider Nation, we're going to fuck... It's like, what happened to you? You know what happened? His balls dried up. There's a point, like they don't really talk about this in health class in high school. You get to a point where you're such a douchebag, and it's been so long since you actually laid down with a woman that your balls turn into sawdust. Well, I don't know. I haven't read these fucking things. Bill, I have an advice question that could affect the podcast. Could you somehow explain the appeal of football to someone who finds the stereotypical football fan extremely offensive? To clarify, I enjoy seeing feats of athleticism and well-laid strategies unfold as much as the next man. And I'm told that football has both of those things. I think all sports do. However, I find that I cannot even begin to enjoy watching football for the simple fact that I find the stigma of being a football fan to be offensive. Oh, God. Well, you know what, dude? Who gets offended? This guy, he's a pompous ass. All right, here we go. The mental image, shirtless, hairy, and somehow balding. What do you mean somehow balding? A lot of people are bald. I'm balding. You mean yet balding. Hairy body, yet balding. Beer-bellied, face-painted, screaming morons. I was hoping that perhaps you, sir, with your apparent knowledge of the ins and outs of the said game, as well as the hoity-toity, New Englandly, over-educated person accent that you sometimes... There's your insecurity there. I sound like a fucking moron. Could explain the appeal of football in an objective way to the rest of us, assuming the answer is not, if you don't like football, go fuck yourself. Well, look, sir. You're doing what everybody does, okay? you're defining football fans by the worst of football fans, and it's not your fault. It's like that shit I said about the Raiders. You go to a Raider game, not everybody is dressed like they're going to go see what is that Midnight Madness movie that everybody likes to go see at 2 in the morning that I've never seen, that I always use as a reference. I don't know. Not everybody at a Raiders game is dressed like they're in a fucking musical. The Rocky Horror Picture Show. They're not dressed like that. Okay? Most of them just have like a Raider t-shirt on or maybe a fucking jacket, and they're just going to a football game. And anytime they pan to people in the crowd, they got to put that douche, who's dressed like Chewbacca. Or those guys going, this is our house, and this week we're going to fucking do. And they try to, it's like, you're fucking loser. They're fucking losers. Yeah, I don't know. That's not what a football fan is. And also, sir, you don't have to go to games. At this point, you can get yourself a nice high-definition TV that's cheaper than buying season tickets. You can get surround sound. You can get a grill going. And you can sit there in the comfort of your own fucking home and enjoy the goddamn game. All right? But, I don't know. I hate the word offensive. Just stop doing that loudest crowd ever, all right? You got the fucking trophy. You've been there now. Act like you've been there before. Do not disappoint me next year. You know it's coming next year. You know it is. There's going to be so many people dressed up like characters. You're going to make the Raider fans. I don't even know what the expression is. I don't know what happened. Jesus Christ. Whatever happened to that Raider fan base? That crushes me every time they pan to the end zone. Everybody's out there, somebody dressed like Fred Flintstone. It's like, what are you doing? All right, that's the podcast.